Sorry about that interruption. So you had mentioned the medications you're taking. You mentioned lisinopril. You mentioned an inhaler. You mentioned, let's see, the Correctal, the Preventil, and the Advair. So with that, do you feel like the lisinopril controls your blood pressure? You feel?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's helping pretty well.
And then what about the inhalers? Do those help?
Yes, yeah, it's
And
pretty controlled.
how often do you feel like you have a problem in a year that maybe you have a flare-up of this, with this asthma that you have?
Not that very often. I'd say either, 1 to 2 times a year if that.
Okay. Have you ever been diagnosed with COPD or just asthma?
Just asthma.
Okay. When were you diagnosed with asthma?
Let's see, probably, as long as I can remember, I was a child.
Okay. What about any other major illnesses, chronic illnesses, such as hypertension or high blood pressure? You mentioned that. What about diabetes and cardiac diseases, cancers?
No.
What about irritable bowel syndrome? Have you ever been diagnosed with that?
I haven't been diagnosed with that, but I know that I've had this bowel irregularity, so I always wondered if that's what it was, but
Okay.
I haven't been formally diagnosed with that.
What about any celiac disease or, let's see, what else would there be? Yeah, and have you ever heard of celiac disease?
I have heard of that. One of my coworkers has that, and I haven't, I don't think that that's what I
Okay.
have.
What about
I don't know.
gallbladder issues? Okay.
No.
Have you, thinking about your medical history now with, moving on, what about, have you ever had a colonoscopy?
I have not had a colonoscopy.
Okay. What about any other screenings, such as a pap smear?
I've had that, but I haven't had anything, come up with it. It's all been normal.
Okay.
Last one was 2 months ago.
Oh, okay, and that was normal, you said? Okay, what about any other screenings? Have you ever had a mammogram?
I have. I've had a mammogram. I don't remember when, but I did remember having one, and it was okay.
Okay, good. What about immunizations? So how about tetanus?
Yes, I've had that recently.
Okay, what about a flu shot?
I've also had that this season.
What about pneumonia or shingles?
I've had all
Oh,
of those.
good. That's great. Okay, what about any other history? What about recent infections or illnesses?
No, nothing like that.
Or hospitalizations,
No.
surgeries?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Thinking about your family history, so your brothers or sisters or children or your parents, any history there with celiac,
No.
irritable bowel syndrome,
No.
cancers, gallbladder? Okay,
No problems.
great. Okay, so I like to ask some questions that are social history type questions, personal history. So tell me, what's your living situation?
Well, I'm single, so I live by myself. I live on my own.
Okay. So these questions just help me get an overall picture of your health. So what about sexual activity? Are you active?
No, not for the last 5 years, it seems like.
Okay, all right. Now, what about, do you smoke cigarettes?
No, I don't.
Any alcohol use?
Not at all.
What about any drugs such as marijuana, cocaine, meth, anything?
No.
Okay. What about your job? Tell me a little bit about what you do.
I work night shift. I'm a store manager at Target, so
Okay.
I run the night crew there.
Okay. And what about, do you get any regular exercise in?
I wish I did, but I just, between work and everything, I don't really exercise at all.
Okay.
Besides work.
What about sleeping? How's your sleeping?
It's, I don't have any problems sleeping.
Okay.
I sleep during the day and I'm by myself, so it's nice. I can sleep.
Okay. What about, so on a typical day, what would you say your diet consists of, including what you drink and eat?
Well, I usually start my day off. I wake up and I work night shift, so my days are kind of upside down. I will drink about 4 cups of coffee throughout my night shift. And then usually before I go into work, I stop and get, some fast food to go. And then when I get off of work, I get some more fast food, and then I go home. So I don't really eat the greatest. I eat a lot of unhealthy foods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know you sound like it's just easier for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what about your liquids? Do you get much water in?
I drink a lot more coffee than I do water or anything else. I try.
Okay. So it sounds like you have a lot of fast food, processed foods, okay? So sometimes that can upset your belly and cause some bowel issues, but we'll keep moving. We'll talk some more about that. So, okay, so just kind of head to toe, we'll do a review of systems here, just brief review. You let me know how you feel about them.
Okay.
All right. Have you had any fevers, chills, headaches?
No.
Any weight loss, weight gain?
No, nothing like that.
What about any change in appetite?
No, not really.
Okay. What about any let's see, breathing problems?
No, everything's been pretty good.
Managing that with your inhalers and such. Good. What about any heart problems?
No, not I'm aware of.
Okay. What about your belly? Any, you mentioned, the issues with having a bowel movement. Do you have any pain in your belly?
I do. It's on that left side, and I'll just have the pain out of the blue. It just comes on.
Okay, so it's pretty much stays on that left side. It doesn't radiate anywhere?
No, it just stays right there.
Okay. And what about with any blood in your stool?
No, not that I've noticed.
What about hemorrhoids?
No.
Okay, and then with your menstrual cycle, when was your last period?
Oh, about 15 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I had menopause, and so that's all done and over with. Thank
Okay. Okay. And you said, what about any diarrhea?
No,
So
none
no.
of that. Just just very hard
Okay.
stool.
All right, good. So I think what we'll do next is I'll just do a physical exam.
Okay.
Let's see. Wash my hands here. Okay. So first I'm gonna inspect your thyroid. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have you take a drink here in just a moment, and because I want to see what your thyroid feels like when you swallow.
Okay.
And if you can turn towards my right hand and swallow. Okay, good. And then go ahead and take a drink and hold it. And turn towards my left hand and swallow. Good. All right, good. Then I think what we'll do is I'm going to listen to your lungs. Okay, and usually I would do this. You'd be in a gown, and I would use my stethoscope on your skin, but for today's exam, we won't be able to do that.
Okay, that's okay.
And just take a nice breath in and out. Good. Move to the back, in and out, nice breath in and out. Okay, now I'm going to listen to your heart. Okay, now I'm going to just check out your belly, okay? So if you wouldn't mind laying back. Okay, I'm just going to kind of look to the side here. Okay, and then I'm going to just listen to here. Let's see if I can listen or hear anything. Okay, I'm just going to feel feel around. If you have any discomfort at any time, please tell me.
That left side's a little bit
Okay.
sore.
Alright, good. Alright, I'll help you sit up there. Alright, so, thank you. So, you know, just thinking about what we talked about, it sounds like you're constipated. But we want to rule out other things too. So I think it would be a great idea to get a colonoscopy to rule out colon cancer. And that's usually just recommended anyways for your age, okay? I know you don't have any cancers in your family, and that's great, but they recommend having these screenings at age 50 and older. So,
Okay.
and then I think some things just to take away from today is maybe improving your diet, because a lot of the foods that you're eating really can cause this constipation and this pain. So you should maybe eat a high fiber enriched diet. So what that means is fruits and vegetables and whole grains and legumes and nuts. And I can give you some handouts on how to eat better foods like that. You know, to stay away from the processed food, the fast foods, and then to really push on the water you're drinking. And exercise is another one that really helps speed up the motility, the movement of that food to go through those intestines, okay? And so all of that will help and with these bowel movements. So, but we'll know more. We'll add some testing. We did get your test back for your stool, and that was negative. There's no blood in that, so that's a good thing.
Good.
And then we can go over your lab exam, lab results also that we got back. So,
Okay.
So do you have any questions for me today?
Not that I can think of right now.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you for coming in today.
Okay, thank you.